Miloš Jakeš is a retired Czech communist politician. He was General Secretary of the Communist Party of Czechoslovakia from 1987 until 1989. He resigned from his position in late November 1989, amid the Velvet Revolution. Early life. Jakeš was born in České Chalupy near České Budějovice. He grew up in a poor village family in the Šumava borderlands before working in Bartošův's factory in Zlín between 1937 and 1950. He joined the Communist Party of Czechoslovakia soon after World War II, triggering his steady rise within the party ranks. In 1955 he began his studies at Moscow's party's higher college and, after obtaining his degree in 1958, his career continued without interruption, undisturbed even during the 1968 Prague Spring period. After the Soviet invasion, Jakeš became one of the main initiators of the political purges carried out in the name of normalization. Party leader. Following the ouster of Gustav Husák at a dramatic party meeting in December 1987, Jakeš was nominated for the position of General Secretary by the competing factions within the Communist Party of Czechoslovakia. Following his rise to power, Jakeš began to promote himself as a reformer by paying lip service to glasnost and perestroika. Yet, despite the Communist Party's attempt to appease the public's demands for reform, Jakeš remained staunchly opposed to any dialogue with the growing opposition movement in the country. Even when the Velvet Revolution broke out, Jakeš refused to consider any serious talks with the opposition. Events soon overtook him, and on November 24 he resigned along with the party's entire presidium. The Communists officially abandoned power 4 days later. As General Secretary, Jakeš used the first name Miloš. During the trial it was revealed that his actual name is Miloš. It is not known why he chose to use a different name. Some speculate that the reason was Zdeněk Jiroudka's well-known humoristic novel Satnan, where the biggest buffoon is called Miloš. Target of jokes. Jakeš was a target of many jokes and much humiliation due to his clumsy verbal style. He gained unwanted fame through his famous speech addressed to local party workers in Červený Rádek close to Plzeň. When speaking about the necessity of Gorbachev-inspired perestroika, he presented himself and the party as a lonely fence post being allegedly left alone to overcome the hardships. On the same occasion he mistook the word broiler for boiler and spoke in an embarrassingly familiar way about some official Czech pop music singers, when pointing to their allegedly super high incomes. His speech had been recorded by a journalist from the Czech television who managed to secretly make a copy of the tape. The record was frequently transmitted among the people in the summer of 1989 and afterwards. It was also remixed and released as a dance song. A widespread feeling that Czechoslovakia's ruling communist elite was suffering not only moral but intellectual decay was given impetus by this speech. It is not surprising that the slogan Jakeš jde koze became one of the rallying cries of the Velvet Revolution. Later life. In 2003 Jakeš and two other party notables stood trial for the role in the events of August 1968. Allegedly, it was at the time that Jakeš took part in a failed attempt to establish a pro-Soviet workers' peasants' government serving the interests of the occupiers. Facing a possible lengthy prison sentence, Jakeš was nevertheless acquitted of the charge of treason. He lives in Prague as an ordinary pensioner and used to be a frequent guest at the present-day communists' rallies. He wrote a book Dvě roky generálním tajemníkem, in which he compared the 40-year-long communist rule of Czechoslovakia to the famous Hussite period in the nation's history.